In this lesson, you will need to take out your calculator. So when we use the unit circle to find angles like pi over 4, exactly, we would have the ordered pairs square root of 2 over 2 and the square root of 2 over 2. That's that point on the unit circle for pi over 4. The first step to using a calculator is to make sure that you have the correct mode. So the mode could be degrees or radians. Most calculators have these 3 trig functions. But if you want to work with the other 3 trig functions, the inverses, we do have to use the inverse key. So in order for you to work with the cosecant, the secant, or the cotangent, you need to work with their inverses. So the inverse is 1 over the sine of x, 1 over the cosine of x, and 1 over the tangent of x. So the keystroke you might use is 1 over x, or x to the negative 1 with scientific calculators. If you have a graphing calculator, you would have to input this fraction 1 divided by the cosine of pi over 12. And that would be equal to the secant of pi over 12. So here's an example of typing this into the scientific calculator or the graphing calculator. Since this angle is in radian measure, you'd want to make sure your mode is in radians. So let's do a couple examples. So example A says, find the cosine of pi over 4. So since this angle is in radians, you'd want to make sure your mode is in radians. And then you type in these keystrokes for graphing calculator. You would type cosine. Then you have your parentheses, pi divided by 4. Finish off that parentheses and then type enter. So this would be the decimal value to 4 decimal places. Remember exactly, on the unit circle, the cosine of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2. Here's another example, the cotangent of 1.2. This is a radian measure also. So for you to use the graphing calculator or the scientific, this is what you could type into your calculator, 1 over the tangent of 1.2. Or, keystrokes here, the tangent of 1.2, and then notice the keystroke x to the negative 1, and that would be your answer to 4 decimal places. So either you can write it like this, 1 divided by the tangent of 1.2, or type the tangent of 1.2 and then x to the negative 1. So please make sure you have practiced those examples to get the same answer as me.